Hey there, you got the wacko one here, and it's definitely good to be back on. I came on because I did want to do a little bit of a WrestleMania review. A lot of things happened in WrestleMania last night. A lot of history making things, and I gotta say, I was the one that demanded that the right thing happen, and for the most part, in a lot of ways, there we go. As far as the result, the right thing did happen as far as results for the most part. Truthfully, if there was any mistake really made with WrestleMania this time around, it was no doubt had to be Randy Orton winning the WWE Championship. I think Randy Orton. I think he's past his peak. I think Randy Orton has had his time, and truthfully, I don't believe Randy Orton is really ready to do his thing. I mean, as a champion anymore. I don't think he's that ready. I mean, I think you got to see a lot of Randy Orton. Oh, I would say from 2007 to 2000 to maybe 2000. In fact, I'll go a little further back than that. I'll say 2006 to 2000 and 2012, 2013, I'll say. And truthfully, I just think within that time, Randy Orton really had his peak. I think there have been some mistakes that kind of were going to hold him back for his career. Does Randy Orton have a great career? Yes, he does. I like Randy Orton. I think he's definitely a great wrestler. Definitely showing that he is the better of all of the family, including Barry O. But I thought Bray Wyatt needed to win, and I think you need that next generation of wrestlers to really show the future. I think Randy Orton and John Cena, they still got about five, maybe 6 good years left in them. But I think the peak of their time really has come. I think John Cena, after they made him the world champion, after they had to take the title off of, after that to take the title basically off of Daniel Bryan as a unified champ. I think that was probably the last time we were going to see John Cena on top, because it was about the best person over at that time, which was Daniel Bryan, and you had to go with the next best one just to keep that flavor going. But that's how I feel about that one. And internet wrestling community, dirt sheet writers, people who go by what they say on the streets, you suck. You suck. You guys suck. I mean, Roman Reigns, before he got injured and he had to take that time off, was someone you always talked about being a guy to be pushed. Now all of a sudden, all this hate comes out for Roman Reigns. I don't like Roman Reigns. I don't like this. I don't like that. There's no rhyme or reason. And the reasons they give aren't good reasons. Oh, he's green. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. Give it up. Give it up. Roman Reigns is a guy they should be building around, for Pete's sakes, whether he's a heel or a babyface. Him defeating The Undertaker was the right move. Because number one, he wasn't the first one to defeat The Undertaker. That was Brock Lesnar. But he's going to go down as the one who retires The Undertaker. He is going to go down as that. This is a torch being passed. I don't know how the internet wrestling community, how the dirt sheet writers could say this. Dirt sheet writers, you said a lot before, and you wound up getting the internet behind you because they're a bunch of bots. They really are. My sister Jen, I love my sister. But I think she needs to stop drinking the Kool-Aid of what a lot of them say. I mean, you really needs to. As someone who hosted wrestling, someone who's followed wrestling, someone who smartened up long before there was an internet, and even knew people like Dave Meltzer can't tell the truth. There's a certain point to where you need to start looking at things, and I think you need to be a lot more fair to Roman Reigns. This isn't Dave Bautista. This isn't Bill Goldberg. This isn't Ryback. We are talking about Roman Reigns, a guy who has more moves than all those guys. The only thing he needs to really work on is his mic skills, and really, he does have them. But truth let it be known, the hate that's come out for this guy. I'm surprised WWE hasn't turned him heel, because when they were booing Edge, they couldn't wait to turn him heel. Then, they force-fed John Cena to where people finally started cheering him again. But, come on. It's time to be fair to Roman Reigns. It's time to be fair to Roman Reigns. And stop this crap against him. He's the right guy to build around. He's got all the right moves. He's the right size, the right look. And if it were a TV-14 era, his mic skills would probably show. If WWE would stop trying to control him, you'd see that he has mic skills. The man does have the charisma. This is the guy that has it all. This is the one who's very practical to have. As someone who can probably beat everybody on the roster. And mark my words, you're going to see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar again. I think you will. I think you're going to see a heel Roman Reigns, though. I really think you're going to see a heel Roman Reigns. I think it's a given to have. It's a given to happen. And it has to happen. Simple as that. Now, to take things a little bit further, there's one other thing you got to look at here with the card. And I'm not going to be on Roman Reigns. Again, the right move was done. You saw Taker say, look, I've had it. I can't do this anymore. This is a guy who I truly know could beat me, and I truly know is a better man. I don't need 3 times to lose to this guy. That's not, okay? That's done. That's done when it's over with. One of the better matches on the card was actually Seth Rollins versus Triple H. And what you got to see happen with Triple H knocking into Stephanie McMahon and Stephanie McMahon going through a table. Triple H looked like he was going to be the cerebral assassin, and what do? We got to see Seth Rollins act like the ultimate opportunist, kick him and give him the pedigree and the win. I think you just saw a passing of the torch there that Triple H wanted to do. Another good one. Chris Jericho losing the U.S. title to Kevin Owens. No surprise. No surprise there. I knew that was going to happen. It was a decent match. I'm not going to say it was the best match on the card, but it was a decent match. My favorite match, believe it or not, and I'll get into that right away here. I'm not doing anything in any order, and I may forget something, and people can correct me and give me all the hell they want. I would have to say that the best match on the card was the first match. Was watching Neville versus Austin Aries. That was on the free show, because you didn't have any of this spectacle. You didn't have anything like that. You just had a simple match where they came to the ring and they gave you everything they had, and that's really what I want to see. I want to see all this spectacle, all this glitz and glamour. I like to see it stop, because the one thing that really helped WrestleMania and helped WWE was they stopped trying to be all colorful all the time, and the stars were the people on your roster, from your ring announcer to your commentators to your wrestlers. You don't need all this star power. Vince McMahon said it one time before, back in WrestleMania 2000, that these days the WWE superstars are the celebrities. And it's true, they are. And you gotta run with that. You don't need Al Roker. You don't need Rob Gronkowski. You don't need any of that. You really don't. And that's how I'll bring that one across. Dean Ambrose, him retaining the Intercontinental title. No surprise there. I knew that was going to happen. Not going to get into that. John Cena did not have the best match on the card. It wasn't even a headliner. I knew it wasn't the best match, and I knew ultimately when they cut the music and he was going to ask her something, it was going to be to marry him. I believe this is for real. This is not a work at all. So I do believe that. And because he was going to do that in the ring that he didn't have the best match. He didn't want to get injured. They didn't want to do anything like that, because he wanted that moment right there in front of 75, 80,000 people and millions of people watching on the WWE network to see him propose right there to Nikki Bella. So I mean, there you go, in a nutshell. Not the best match on the card, so I'll say that. Goldberg, Brock. I knew Brock Lesnar was going to win because you had to give him that win. And I knew it wasn't going to be a great match. It was short. They did a lot more than what they did in WrestleMania 20. And, of course, Survivor Series. How do you forget that? Oh, God. I shouldn't even go there. I'm not. Wash my hands of that. I'm not even going to get into that. It was about constantly doing like 4 moves, and that was it. And I'm not even going to get into that. So, bye-bye. That one. All in all, the women's matches, la-di-da. Again, the women can argue with me. The men who like the women's matches, they could argue with me all they want to. But a lot of things need to happen there. All in all, was this a great WrestleMania? The answer to that is the results helped it, but not enough. I think they're back to the point to where the titles don't mean anything. You didn't see the SmackDown tag titles on the line. I think you need to have just one tag team champion, get them on both brands, have them represent both brands. Same thing with the World Championship. Get the World Championship and Universal Championship back as one again. Same thing with the Women's Champion. Let those 3 titles represent both shows. I'm really not for the brand extension. I think a lot of that is really what does it. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal is really getting to be the who cares one. I mean, that's become more about putting NXT over than anything else. That's how I feel. All in all, on a scale of 1 to 10, and people are going to be upset with me, I give WrestleMania 33, I give it a 6, maybe 6.5. And that's me being charitable. That's only because the right results happen with almost all the matches. The only one that I'm going to really complain about the right result not happening is Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. I don't think you can draw with Randy Orton anymore. I know he's a veteran. I got a lot of respect for him, but I don't think Randy Orton's the one you go with. I think you needed Bray versus AJ. I think you needed a wrestling clinic there with AJ, and Shane and AJ gave a great match too. I mean, I just think, like I said, I think a lot of the guys who they're holding back now are the people they need to be running with. Dolph Ziggler, you could have had a match of the year with him. You could have had a match of the better match with the Dean Ambrose. You could have had a lot of things going on. I think you need a Big Show maybe to pass the torch on to the new giant, which in this case would be Braun Strowman. So you guys know where I'm coming from with this. But that's how I feel about WrestleMania. I'm not going to go any further than that. I'll definitely do another video real soon. Thanks everybody.